What's up, YouTubers? DaVinci Resolve tutorial number 9. This time, titles and text. We will head to the effects library in DaVinci Resolve 14 to add some interesting titles to our videos. Using keyframes, you can animate those titles to create amazing effects. Text can move, titles can float, fade in, fade out, everything together. We will make a video like this.
And they are basically face jeweled glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because who hasn't? And these would be amazing gifts for Christmas. So you open up this bad boy and you've literally got bright red glitter, silver glitter.
Let's create some titles. This is our 9th tutorial. We've been using DaVinci for a while. If not, remember, always in the video description, you will find a link to our full DaVinci Resolve playlist. If you click there, YouTube will show you all the tutorials we are creating for DaVinci Resolve, just in the order you want them to be. So let's come back. Now let's go to Resolve and let's create a background video. So to overlay the text on top of it. This is our 9th tutorial, so we will go a little faster. Let's go to File, Import Media, then select a video, like this one. Open, don't change the frame rate, and let's use the trimmer to select about 15 seconds of video. Click, drag it to the trimmer, let's use a marking point over here, then marking point, let's play this a little.
And basically, these would be amazing gifts. So we've literally got bright red glitter, silver glitter. It's not even glitter, it's like...
Enough, mark out point, and now let's drag this short portion of video to the timeline, this way. Clicking and dragging, and so this will be the background video. Let's position the marker over it, and then let's preview this video.
And they're basically face jeweled glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because who hasn't?
Okay, let's apply some text effects over this video. Where we find the text effects? Well, of course, on the effects library. As you click here, a new panel will appear over here. This is the effects library panel. You can disable it, enable it. Here, on the many effects it has, you will find the titles. This is how you create the text effects. There are several kinds of titles you can create using DaVinci Resolve. To create a title, you will need many video tracks. Remember, this is a video track indicated with a B letter plus a number, and this is the audio track of this video, the background video. So let's add some other video tracks. Right clicking here, add track. Now we have 2 video tracks. Let's add even another. Right click, add track. You can customize the size of these panels by clicking and dragging this way. So we have 3 video tracks. The text, the title, should always be on top on a higher track than the background. And there are many types of titles you can use. Left lower third, medium lower third, right lower third, scroll text, like credits, and a simple text. Let's start by using a left lower third. How to apply it? Just click and drag it to an upper track over the background video or the background image. This way, I can see the text effect. To watch it, I position the marker over it. Very simple. You can position it clicking and dragging. At any moment of the video, you can adjust its duration, stretching it or shortening it, and you can also customize the effect by clicking it so it is selected and then enabling the inspector. When I click here on the inspector, this panel, the trimmer, will disappear. Let's enable the inspector, clicking here, and now let's preview the video. Position the marker, you will see the video, only the video, and at this moment the text will appear. Let's preview this, play.
And basically, face jeweled glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because who hasn't?
It's time to customize the effect. Position the marker over it. To watch it, then select the effect. Always remember, first select the effect and make sure to enable the inspector. In the inspector you will find many controls you can use to customize this effect. There are 2 words, title and title. Let's use a new feature. DaVinci Resolve lets you customize the size of the panels. If you hover over this border, You can click and drag this way to make it easier. Now we have more space on the preview window and also at the inspector. Now let's see, we have two words, title and title. At the first text box, let's type something like DaVinci and let's adjust the font family. What about this one? Look at this, I like it. Font face, bold. As we are customizing, you can see the changes applied to the text. Color, I want it in red, like this. Okay, the text now is in red. Let's increase its size. You can drag this dot. You can type a number, clicking 50, press enter. Or you can click and drag to increase or decrease the size. Like this is okay. Let's go down a little, tracking, line space, there is only one line in DaVinci, and many other adjustments you can use. You can explore them later, adjust the position, like this, clicking, dragging to the right, also add the y-axis, up, down actually, up, like this. Rotation angle, we'll see that later. Well, that is the first text box, this DaVinci. Now let's type another word, right here, this one. Let's type Resolve. Let's adjust the font family. What about this one? Maybe a little bigger. Increase its size. Too much. Let's click and drag this way. Go down a little. The color. Green will be okay. Click OK. Let's go down. Drop shadow. You can apply shadows to this. Offset. Click here. Drag. You see? To the right, to the left, you can apply a shadow. X-axis, Y-axis. Like this. Look how easy it is to apply this. Let's adjust this a little, maybe closer, like this. You can adjust the blur, the opacity of the shadow, and look at this. Background color. Go down a little, and then height. Look at this. You see? Width, X-axis, dragging this way. Let's do something interesting like this. Let's reduce the width and let's position this, drag to the left and going up a little. DaVinci Resolve like this. Opacity maybe a little darker this way. DaVinci Resolve. So we type the text, customize the font, type the another text, customize it too, apply some shadows, and create the background. Now let's preview this video, position the marker at the beginning, no text, then the text will appear and the text will disappear. Let's play this.
And they are basically face jewel glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because I mean, who hasn't?
Now let's make this a little more interesting. Let's drag this a little to the right and stretch its duration a little bit. Click on it so the controls appears on the inspector. Always select it first. As you can see, here are two tabs, text and video. In text we have all the controls we have just applied. There are also others. You click on this video tab and you find the composite, transform, cropping and other controls we have used in previous tutorial. Let's make something interesting about this thing. This is new. Cropping. This is our 9th tutorial, so we have been using keyframing for a while. I would like to apply something to this text effect. Let's position the marker over it and look at the cropping controls. Let's adjust this a little. Look at this. You see? Crop left, crop right. Let's apply some keyframing to crop right. At the beginning of the text effect, at this moment of the video, I would like it to be completely cropped, like this. You see nothing. Then, a few seconds later, I want the text to appear, last for a while. At this moment, it begins to crop right again, till the moment at the end of the text effect, over here, the text completely disappear. Look at this. At the beginning, you remember how to apply keyframing? Just as we did in previous tutorial. I want to apply keyframing to crop right. So, position the marker, and then enable a keyframe, create a keyframe by clicking on this rhombus. I click here, it becomes red. Then, at the beginning, I want the text effect completely cropped. Like this, you see nothing. A few seconds later, we want to create a new keyframe. I click here again, becomes red, and at this moment, I want the text effect to appear. Like this. This is the second keyframe. I want this to last many seconds until this moment when the text effect still appears. So, create a new keyframe here, and then it begins to disappear till the end, where I want to create a new keyframe with the text completely cropped, like this. Very simple, no text. The text appears, the text continues, and the text slowly disappears. You can navigate between keyframes using this arrow, like this. Let's preview this.
And they are basically face jewel glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because I mean, who hasn't? And these would be amazing gifts for...
Let's create some other text effects, some titles. Let's expand this a little, and let's use this other track. Come back to the titles, here on the effects library, let's use this medium lower third. You select it, click on it, and drag it to the timeline. Let's position it over here. Always remember the text effect on a higher track than the background. This is the video at the background, and this is the effect, the title. You see here? Let's expand this duration till the end of the video. And looks very simple. Some people say that the titles and text effects in DaVinci Resolve are too simple, but you can make them great with just a little imagination. Let's work on this effect, this title. Let's adjust the size of the panels this way. This is the effect. Click on it always and enable the inspector. Remember, without the inspector, using the inspector. These effects, these controls will be applied to this new title, this one. Well, let's type something. Titles and text. Let's change the font family, let's use another. Font face to italic. Let's continue. The color, let's keep it white, just like right now, and increase the size, clicking and dragging. Title and text, that's okay. Let's continue watching and type something. How to apply. Okay, the color, some green, okay. Maybe bigger. And bold italic. Let's give it some shadow. Set. That's right. But this time the shadow will be in another color. Maybe like a blue. Okay? I like that. Let's go down a little. And the background. Let's adjust the height. Clicking. I like this actually. Let's click and drag. Let's reduce its opacity. Increase its opacity actually. The color may be in red. This red. Okay. Now look at this. Let's reduce its height. Like that. Okay, I like this. Let's give it some animation. Remember, this is the text effect. Let's preview this. Position the marker. You still can see the other one at the beginning. Let's play this.
And using gifts for Christmas. So you open up this bad boy and we've literally...
Okay, let's give it some animation. Let's reduce its duration like this. Select it and go to the inspector. Look at this. Rotation angle, for example. You click and drag. Look at this. Look interesting. If you type 0, press enter, completely horizontal. So I would like this at the beginning of the text effect. This title will be over here, rotated, then later comes down and becomes horizontal. How we do that? Position the marker at the beginning and then enable the first keyframe, rotation angle. The dot in red means that is a keyframe applied at this moment. As this is the beginning of the text effect, I will like it rotated. Click and drag a little. This way. First keyframe. Position the marker a little later, over here, and let's create a new keyframe by clicking here. Becomes red, rotation angle, and now let's give it completely horizontal. Type 0, press enter, and I want to repeat this rotation angle and 0 till this moment. Position the marker over it, clicking here, and create a new keyframe like this, so the rotation keeps being 0 from over here to over here. Then I want the text to rotate again till the end, over here, where I want to create a new keyframe in. rotating again, like this. And then the text will disappear. Let's position the marker at the beginning. Let's drag this a little to the left, this way. And let's watch the two text effects. This one, the first one we created, and this other one with some keyframing, some animation applied to the rotation angle. Position the marker at the beginning, and let's play this.
And they are basically face jeweled glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because, I mean, who hasn't? And these would be amazing gifts for Christmas. So you open up this bad boy and we've literally got bright red glitter, silver glitter. It's not even glitter, it's like...
Well, I like it. Position the marker over this one. I would like this text to have a fade in at the beginning of it and a fade out at the end. There are several ways to do this. For example, you can come here to the effects library and add a transition like this. Click and drag it over here, and also a transition at the end, clicking and dragging to the end of this text effect. You see, it's indicated by this object over here. You can also adjust the view here on the timeline using this control, you remember? Timeline view options, clicking here and full size, and you can see here applied the transition. Let's come back to the original one, this one, and now let's preview this again. You know, we're just applying some fade in and fade outs to this text effect. Marker at the beginning, and let's preview this.
And they are basically face jeweled glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because, I mean, who hasn't? And these would be amazing gifts for Christmas. So you open up this bad boy and we've literally got bright red glitter, silver glitter. It's not even glitter, it's like...
I like it. I would like to apply a change at the time of the transition by drawing its border this way. Transition will last a little more. This is the fade in transition. Let's do the same with this one. Clicking and dragging its border this way. So the transition lasts, the fade out lasts a little more. Now let's add the final text effect. We will need a new track. Let's add it by right clicking here and add track. Now we have 4 video tracks. And let's add a text effect. What about this one? Click and drag it over here. Always in an upper track, remember. I would like it to last all video long. I extend its duration by clicking at this border, like this, and let's watch it. It's this one, title. Very simple. Let's adjust its property over time using keyframes. First, always select it, remember that, and let's type something. Maybe simple titles. Okay, let's select another font family. I'm scrolling with the mouse. What about this one? I like that. Another color. Some pink to the girl, and let's continue. Maybe some background. Let's create one. Height, like this. Width, like this. Let's hide, and let's position it better. Y-axis. Titles. Okay. That's the text effect. Let's make it fly around the video. Let's click at this video tab, and let's watch it at the beginning, at this moment of the text effect. I would like it to be over here. Then at this moment he comes down, turns around. Later this test effect I would like it to fly over here. And at the end of the video, the end of the test effect, this text could be a little bigger and over here. Let's apply those movements. Marker at the beginning. Always remember to select this test effect. Clicking on video, and let's use some controls here at the inspector tab. We will use the transform controls. You can select it one by one, clicking so the rumbles become red, or just click this one and all the controls are enabled. Well, this is at the beginning of the text effect. I would like this to be at this corner. You can click and drag its position this way. You know, we've done this before. Or it's also possible to enable these transform controls. And now the title behaves like an image, just as we did in our previous tutorial. Now you can click and drag it, position it wherever you want. This could be the beginning of the text effect. I would like it to rotate it a little, click, drag it, like that, a little smaller. And then a few seconds later, over here, let's enable the transform controls again. It becomes a little bigger, like this, comes down, let's click and drag it. Let's rotate Joe like this. At this moment of the video, this title, first always remember to enable the keyframes, becomes red, and let's click and drag it to the other corner. You know, this is the path from here to here to here. Then I would like it to rotate like this, becomes a little bigger, even. Let's adjust its position. Titles. Let's adjust its pitch too. Adjust its rotation again. Like this. A little later, over here, enable the keyframes, clicking here, rotates it to the other side, like this, or just dragging till the desired effect. Let's continue. I want that at this moment of the video, enable the keyframes, don't forget that. The title goes to the corner again, rotate like this, and this way. And at this moment, almost at the end, enable the keyframes, always remember that, and the title comes to this position, completely horizontal, so rotation angle 0, press enter, pitch 0, press enter, yaw 0, press enter. Then I want it to become bigger, till the end. Position the marker again, enable the keyframes, and adjust the zooming. And also the position. That's enough. This title will go down, up, to the right, to the left, and to this position, and get a little bigger. Position the marker at the beginning, and let's preview all these test effects together. Let's do this.
And they are basically face jeweled glitter company. You've probably seen them on Instagram because, I mean, who hasn't? And these would be amazing gifts for Christmas. So you open up this bad boy and we've literally got bright red glitter, silver glitter. It's not even glitter, it's like...
Well, it's very easy to apply text effects. We have made some changes to the interface, to the appearance of DaVinci Resolve 14. How to reset that? You come here to Workspace and click on Reset Layout. And this is it. This is the original layout of DaVinci Resolve. And remember, you can find the text effects at the effects library. You enable that by clicking at this button. The effects library appears. There you will find the text effects, the titles. You apply it just by clicking and dragging. And to adjust its properties, click on it to select it. Enable the inspector and begin to work. To work on the text and to work on its animation as well. Please remember, if you're watching this video from YouTube, in the description you will always find a link to the full DaVinci Resolve playlist. If you click there, YouTube will show you all the DaVinci tutorials we have made in the order you need them to be. I hope you really like this video and to see you in the next one.